When I lived on the minimum wage, I sometimes struggled to put food on the table. Going to food banks and stuff like that, it does make you feel like you're failing. Even though you're working as many hours as you can work to support your family, to actually having to go to these places feeling like, what can I do better? What more can I do? You have like sleepless nights thinking that you're failing your family.
There was a point when I really didn't know if I was going to be able to stay living in the flat that I'm currently in. Things were rapidly rising, my bills went up a hell of a lot. Getting paid that little bit extra more meant that I could actually keep living there.
I've had to work nearly a 60-hour week to make sure, bills paid. I was exhausted quite a lot of the time, almost feeling like I was going to burn out.
Having that stress of not having enough money for your future. And there's a lot of pressure from the outside world, especially from influencers. You see all these people having all that money to move out.
We see more and more people coming to us with issues around debt, issues around their finances, and to be able to provide the real living wage, but also advocate it for our clients is massively important for us.
Too many people in Manchester over the years haven't been paid enough to have a good living. I've seen firsthand the struggles of how hard it is to make ends meet. And in one of the richest countries in the world, particularly with the cost of living crisis, nobody in our city should be struggling. Nobody should be living in poverty. We're doing lots of work as a city to combat that. The really key important thing is, particularly for people that are in work, they shouldn't be living in poverty.
At least 67% of organisations in our sector pay a real living wage, but we want that number to be 100%. We cannot as a sector say we're fighting poverty and inequality if our own staff are underpaid and undervalued.
Citizens UK started the Living Wage campaign 20 years ago. Here in Greater Manchester, I've been working with communities, working with people, working with ordinary citizens to highlight what it means for them to back the Living Wage campaign.
Obviously, wages aren't increasing in line with things like inflation and rent at the moment, and that is pushing more and more individuals and families into poverty. If we can help people raise that baseline of pay through the real living wage, then I believe that will have a really good effect.
We know that for too long, over 40% of our children are living in poverty. And so many of those children have parents that are in work. And the real living wage is one way to help people out of poverty.
For people in the sector, you do feel more appreciated for the work that you do. It makes people feel, the work they're doing is a little bit more valued. It gives you a bit of hope knowing that, things are going up and you are going to be getting a little bit more pay to kind of match up to those prices.
It makes me feel valued as an employee and the job that I do. I have been able to support my family, put decent food on the table, do activities.
Being on the living wage has been extremely important to me. It's mean I've been able to move out and provide myself with savings for a rainy day. It's my safety net. I get to have a healthy balance and I get to put myself into my work, which I'm really, really passionate about. Having those hours back to myself means I get to put myself into my family and friends, and my mental health is better for it, my physical health is better for it.
Freedom to just do the stuff that I want to do. It's kind of just taking away that pressure and that stress of not having enough money.
And you can do your bit too. Go to your local high street, speak to your local businesses and share the word about the living wage movement, and together we can all get behind and make Manchester a place where everyone in work can thrive and live with dignity.
We at MAC can offer support to organisations that want to pay a real living wage, and we encourage them to contact us about this. If you're a funder of a VCSE organisation in Manchester, we encourage you to work with and support those organisations you fund to pay a real living wage.
Manchester's always been a leader for change, so it's really inspiring and empowering that more and more organisations and businesses are getting involved every year.
We're hard-working people who live in Manchester. We're lovely people and we deserve to be able to support our families and have a nice life.
For me, it's about fairness and it's about dignity. It's putting money into the pockets of Mancunians, but it's money that they deserve. Working hard and getting fair pay, that's the real living wage.